Hello, YouTube. My name is Constance, and I am a poet from Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been writing poetry for quite some time now, maybe seriously over the last 7 years or so, in and out of different relationships or different situations that inspired me. I would always write. And my first major poem that I wrote was the Fat Poem. I remember writing this poem in a time where I was by myself. I think I just got out of one of the most serious relationships I've ever been with, like the person that I really, really, really loved. Um, and I was just in a place where honestly I was young and I didn't really know myself. So I wanted to, you know, I wanted to find how do you find your worth? Where is my worth at? The one person that I love doesn't love me back. Who am I? I'm just leaving college. I'm just starting to, live my own life and things like that. And I'm like, who am I? Where do I go from here? When situations occur in your life, you always kind of question yourself and look at it's when anything occurs, you kind of have a moment of reflection, like, okay, where is this going to lead me? Where do I carry on? So I was depressed. I was sad. I was going through a lot of emotions, and I would be up like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I just started to write. And I would write about love, and I would write about all kinds of things. And I know this young lady was a model. She was working with me, and she was telling me about this poetry spot. She was like, "Girl, there's this poetry spot on 7 and Davis Street." She was like, "You're into poetry? You need to go out there." And I was fairly new to Charlotte at that point, and it's called the Wind Up. But to make a long story short, I started going out there, and then I started um, I started performing. Like, I would just go out there by myself and just bask in the energy, because the energy was big, the energy was massive. All the people, the crowd, the spirit of love, spirit of hate. It was just a lot of passion always in the room, and I was always on the tip of my toes, because I'm like, what am I going to hear next? What's going to inspire me? I would come there with the pad and my piece of paper, and as I heard the poets write, I would write down my story, my situation. I would be inspired by different people, different perspectives. It was a lot of knowledge. And so, to make a long story short, I would go there and I would go home sometimes and write. And then I finally got up. And one of the first poems that I did, one of the first poems that I wrote was called Being Fat. And I always felt beautiful, but being pretty, being beautiful, knowing how to make yourself look sexy, hot, there's a whole nother it's different than feeling yourself, than feeling worthy, than feeling confident, than feeling brave. Sure, I can put on some makeup and some whatever, but where does my strength lie? And in poetry, I knew that I was strong there, and poetry gave me more confidence, because I knew that I had talent. I knew that I was more than what I was doing at work. There was something special about me, and I was so thankful to God that I was able to discover it through poetry. Of course, through God, but when God, the way it works is when we all want to figure out what we're here for, right? We all want to know what makes us tick. We all want to know who we are. What's my purpose? These are the questions that I'm constantly always asking myself. What is my next step? Who am I? And God showed me that I was special in a lot of ways in life, but he showed me that I had gifts in poetry too, and that I could touch people, and that I could motivate people, and that I could encourage people, and it gave me more confidence, more self-worth. And through my poetry, which is kind of like a journal, I was able to discover who Constance is, and who Constance was, and who Constance will become. And because there's always this question in my mind when things happen: how do I react? What am I going to do? Where am I going? How am I going to get over him or this situation? And then sometimes you realize it's really not about him. I'm referring back to the relationship that helped me to start writing. And well, I just want to say that this journey in poetry and this journey in life has been a beautiful one. And I got on stage that night, and one of my first poems, I think it was like one of the first poems that I wrote. It's called Being Fat. It's about embracing yourself. Like I said, the outside is one thing, but how do you feel self-worth from the inside? And, God allowed me to see myself through this poem. And as the years developed, as the years went along, I began to realize, because to build up confidence and self-esteem in myself, you have to go through different things in life and learn different lessons, and know that your worth doesn't come from your job. Your worth doesn't come from necessarily your family or anything on this exterior. Your worth comes from God, but just knowing that you are somebody special, just knowing that God created you, just knowing that you're breathing, that he gave you another day to live. You are worthy. You are worthy because he has purpose for you. You have a purpose. You are important. You are special. And even if nobody recognizes it, you have to internalize and recognize that about yourself. And it's been a long, hard road for me. I made a lot of mistakes in my life. But I'm thankful for the woman that I have become. And I'm not perfect in any way, but, that poem kind of showed me a reflection of myself. Showed me that I am a woman of integrity. I am a woman of strength. I am a woman of confidence. And I'm a woman of these things. And I am that. And that poem goes for anyone, for the person who's really awkwardly skinny, for the person who feels insecure or feels like people may not value them, or they may not value yourself. You have to know internally that you are beautiful, that you are worthy. And so I did that poem, and I learned from the poetry people, from the spoken word artist, how you perform, and I learned a lot from them. I just would sit there and study them. And as I began to do this poem, it would be people that would come up to me and say, Constance, I cried, or that really touched me, or, I really can relate to that. And it really made me smile and feel like I have purpose, and it really made me feel like God didn't just give me the poetry or the words for myself, but to share with others as well. So that's why I wanted to do a poetry blog. Have my CD. It's called Liberated Love, and I just sold it in my area or whatever. And I did some spoken word pieces, mostly about love, mostly about just my journey, just a tad bit about my journey in life. So, if you have any comments, or if you see something on my page and you want to know more information about it, just leave me a message. And again, this is Constance, and I hope that you all have a wonderful, beautiful day or night or whatever. God bless you. Peace and blessings to you.